Hello everyone, I am Bipin Joshi and you are watching the companion video to my article Prepare ASP.NET Core Projects to Use TypeScript. In this video, I will first show you how you can download and install TypeScript SDK on your machine. I will then show you how you can specify a particular TypeScript version to use for your ASP.NET projects. I will then build a simple hello world example in TypeScript, and I will conclude this video by showing how you can do a little bit of customization using TypeScript configuration file. Before you start your TypeScript development, you might want to download and install the latest version of TypeScript SDK. You can do that by visiting TypeScript's official website, typescriptlang.org. So let's do that. Here you can see the TypeScript's official website open in my browser. On this website, I will click on download link at the top. Then you can decide what kind of download you want. I'm going to use Visual Studio 2019, so I will click on Visual Studio 2019. It will open another page wherein you can download the TypeScript SDK for Visual Studio. So here it is, TypeScript 3.7.2 for Visual Studio. I click on download. You can download this installer on your machine and run the installer to install the SDK. Now that you have installed TypeScript SDK on your machine, let's see how you can specify a particular TypeScript version for your ASP.NET Core project. For that, we'll need to create a new ASP.NET Core project. So let's do that. So here I have Visual Studio ID open. Now I'll create a new ASP.NET Core project. File, new project, ASP.NET Core web application. I will specify project name to be binaryintellect.demos.hello world TypeScript. I will also specify location for my project. Let me pick ASP.NET Core 3.1. Web application model view controller, and I will create. So here we have the newly created project. I will right click on the project and properties. Now on this properties page, there is an option, there is a section called TypeScript build. I will click on that. Here at the top, there is a drop down list, TypeScript version. Currently it says none specified because this is just a newly created project. We haven't specified any particular version as such. Now in this drop down, you will get list of all the TypeScript SDKs that are installed on this particular machine. So here you can see 3.7, 3.8. There is also an option called use latest version. So whatever is the latest available, that will be used. So for this example, let me pick use latest available. Let me save. Now this setting, whatever you specify here, is reflected in the project file also. You can see TypeScript tools version element getting added there, which specifies latest. That's what we selected in the drop down. There is an alternate way of specifying the TypeScript version you want to use. Let me show you that also. What I will do is I will remove this element. I will close the file. I will right click on the dependencies folder and I will say manage NuGet packages. I will install this particular NuGet package, microsoft.typescript.msbuild. As you can see here, it says the TypeScript msbuild task and matching compiler version. Fine. So here I will install the version depending on my requirement. For example, if I install 3.8 version, then TypeScript compiler version 3.8 will be used. If I install 3.7, then compiler version 3.7 will be used, and so on. So let me use the latest stable, whatever is available. I click on install. Okay, so under dependencies, I now have Microsoft.typescript.msbuild with a certain version. Now, if I open project properties page again, you will find that this time TypeScript version is mentioned to be 3.8. The drop down is now disabled, and it also specifies NuGet, indicating that the version TypeScript version will now be picked based on the NuGet package that you added. Fine. So this is alternate way. If you don't want to use a particular SDK version, as we discussed earlier, you can also use this NuGet package version as per your requirement. So now we have certain TypeScript version specified through the through this NuGet package. So let me close this and let me save the project. Now let's move further and create a simple example, simple hello world example in TypeScript. In this example, you will simply output hello world in a web page. What I will do is I will add a new folder under www root. I have named the folder as TypeScript. I will right click on TypeScript folder, add new item. From the new item dialog, I will pick TypeScript file. I will give the file name to be hello world.ts. So a new TypeScript file got added under TypeScript folder. I will write a simple hello world function into the file. As you can see, this hello world function basically picks up an HTML element whose ID is MSG, It uses document.getElementById. MSG is we are going to add a div on our HTML page with id MSG, so it simply picks that, and it sets the inner HTML property of that div to hello world. It's a simple function. I added to hello world.ts. Let me save the file. Now you might notice here, as soon as I save the file, automatically Visual Studio generates the compiled output of hello world.ts. It created hello world.js automatically for us as soon as you save the ts file. This file we will be using on our HTML pages. Let me close this. I will then add an HTML page into the TypeScript folder. This is a page. Let me write a simple markup there. For the body element, I specified onload attribute and hello world function there, which we just wrote. Inside the body section, we have a div whose id is MSG, and we also added script tag at the end, just before the end body tag, and this script tags points to the JavaScript file that was that got created as a result of TypeScript compilation. So it is hello world.js. Let me save this file, index.html. I will now run index.html in the browser. So I right click on index.html and say view in browser. So the browser window opens. And you get the hello world message displayed in the browser. Right? If you see the view source, that's the JavaScript file we are referencing. This is the file, and this is the output. Now that our hello world example is ready, let's add a little bit of customization to the example. What I would like to do is, I would like to save the resultant output file into a separate folder. Currently, whenever I build the project or whenever I save the TypeScript file, the resultant JavaScript file is getting created immediately inside the TypeScript folder. I would like to save that file into a separate folder. So let's see how that can be done. What I will do is, I will add a subfolder called output under TypeScript folder. I will then right click on TypeScript folder, add new item. This time I will pick TypeScript JSON configuration file. The name of this file has to be tsconfig.json, so I will keep it unchanged and say add. This file basically contains several compiler options which are used to configure the TypeScript compilation. So I will add this particular setting to this file. The other settings are added by default, so I add this particular setting. Out dir, I'll set it to output, the output folder which we have added, and so I specify this. Let me close this file. I will open hello world.ts again. Now observe carefully. This time, whenever I save hello world.ts, the output gets created inside the output folder. Hello world.js gets created inside output folder. That's because we specified in tsconfig that output directory should be output. Let me close this and I will open this file. Since our resultant JavaScript file is in different folder now, I will need to fix this path also. So TypeScript output hello world.js. I will run this. So here is the output. This time the file is coming from the output folder. I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe to our channel and stay tuned with the latest additions.